Whatever the FBI does is good with you.
Wait, the Department of Justice controlled by Donald Trump even determined that Hillary Clinton didn't break the law.
I like the guy with the Trump hat better.
Speak to me, bro.
He's better than you.
He's silent. He can't say anything. He's got nothing.
You know, easily one of the most hilarious things about watching Trump supporters is the fact that they just flat out like the guy. And that's all that matters. They don't care about anything he's done. They don't care about any of the news. They don't care about the scandals. They don't care about all the people he ripped off, all the scams, all the tax dodging, or the fact that he was twice impeached, or the fact that he's the only president / former president ever to be indicted in U.S. history. They just like the guy, so that's all that really counts. You know, and they're always so certain of everything, just like my man here.
You have to swear on a Bible to be an elected official in the United States of America. He alleges that a Muslim cannot do that ethically, swearing on the Bible.
You don't actually have to swear on a Christian Bible. You can swear on anything, really. I don't know if you knew that. You can swear on a Jewish Bible.
Oh, no,
I
swore on the Bible. I've done it 3 times.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you've picked a Bible, but the law is not that you have to swear on a Christian Bible. That is not the law. You don't know that? All right, Ted Crockett was
I don't know. I know that Donald Trump did it when we made him president.
Because he's Christian and he picked it. That's what he wanted to swear in on.
He was absolutely positive that unless you're a Christian, you basically can't ethically or legally come into office in the United States. But, you know, that's not really the case. You can use any book. But, hey, you know, conservatism and Republicans in America, that, you know, what I like and what I want, that's all that really counts.
Wait, how does that not matter? You're saying that Hillary Clinton broke the law under Donald Trump's Department of Justice.
Comey said we couldn't find someone who would prosecute.
No, Comey said she didn't break the law. Under the Espionage Act, Section F of 793, she did not violate it. He said that when he was testifying in Congress.
Did she do? Comey is a crook. What are you so proud of yourself?
Because I know what I'm talking about, you don't. Because I know what I'm talking about.
And look, the corporate Democrats really just do a pitiful job in general. But in order to vote Republican continuously, you really have to pay no attention to the facts. I mean, what did Republicans do all 8 years while Obama was in office? They talked about how they were going to repeal and replace the Affordable Care Act. Trump gets in office, they have absolutely no plan. The only thing Donald Trump really did when he was in office, legislatively, is cut taxes for the super wealthy and for corporations. And then Biden gets in there and he doesn't even want to raise it back up to what it was before. So, you know, what else do Republicans do? They're always talking about cutting Social Security and Medicare. Trump talked about that at one point too, but then he, you know, kind of smelled what was in the air and saw that it's not popular. So he's kind of the only Republican saying he doesn't want to cut these things. And that's some of what drives his popularity. But at the end of the day, you know, voting for Donald Trump, a former game show host, a man who is riddled with criminality, you know, I mean, what are you really paying attention to? It's not reality.
What are your thoughts on the Roe v. Wade being overturned?
I'm against abortion.
You're against abortion?
Yes.
There's been some talk with some people saying we need to protect life. The sperm that's the seed of life. So would you be in favor of all males who are not married getting vasectomies?
No.
And what about you?
To each their own.
Clarence Thomas said yesterday maybe we should take a look at the same-sex marriage ruling. Is that something you think we should look at as well?
What do I think of gay marriage? I don't believe in gay marriage.
You don't believe it? You don't think that 2 men or 2 women should be able to get married? Would you like to see them reverse the decision?
Yes.
And why is that?
Just how I was brought up, and that's how I believe.
And you mentioned it a couple times. To each their own, right?
It is to each their own, but everybody should have a respect in their own biblical sense.
So to each their own, but you don't want gay people getting married, and you don't want women choosing what to do with their body.
Right.
And look, oftentimes when right-wingers say to each their own, they're just saying, I want my way and nobody else's way matters. Their perspective, their point of view is the only thing that's important. Because, you know, to each their own, mind your business. Everybody should have their right to privacy. But at the same time, you know, gay people, trans people, you know what I'm saying? You know, if I don't really want to live next to black and Latino people, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. So let's just go ahead and, you know, put these segregation laws, you know, so again, that's all that we're really talking about. But it's just always hilarious to look at these people say things like, well, to each their own. You know, want you to be able to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, but then they don't follow it themselves. But ironically or unironically enough, that's why Donald Trump is so popular within the Republican Party, because his branding is that he's for the little guy. Even though he isn't, it's a little something different than what most Republicans typically spew.